Alrighty guys, well, see the rear view mirror? See that car right there? Yeah, some people just should not friggin' drive. It is friggin' dry. And they drove into the ditch right there with the front wheel little too fucking far. Why they drove in, I have no idea. But then they got hung up and stuck. And it just so happened I happened to come along and I stopped. And these guys, I think, are half cut, drunk, whatever. Well, I attempted to pull them out. And I told the guy, put it in neutral. Nope, he don't put it in neutral. I give a little bit of a tug and he floors it in reverse and makes it 10 times worse. If I keep trying to pull him right now the way he is in there, I had the one back wheel of the car sticking up off the ground about 1.5 feet. I'm afraid I'm gonna flip his car over. So I quit and I said, you guys gotta get a tow truck, because I am not gonna pull this out of here and risk flipping the car and then it's on me. Not a friggin' chance. Some people are just friggin' plain dumb. Anyways, let's get to the field. Alrighty guys, well, we're finally in Big Blue. The small square baler at my buddy's place there, it was still hooked to the tractor. And actually when I got over here with Brian, because he picked me up in the field, his one son was just in the process of pulling all the straw out of it and blowing it off. So I said, take your time, clean it all up the way you want it cleaned. So but yeah, she's gonna be put back to action here right away with picking some bales. Drive it over there. What is it, about a 4 mile drive from this yard over to the field? So let's get after her. And that you can see right there. See how the bales are all nice and tight right from the front all the way to the back? That's why I make my bales 66, basically 66, 64, 66. 68 is a little bit too big, but we've done it. But 64 to 66 inches works the best. For a nice, tight, full load. But I'll tell you one thing for sure. It takes a lot longer to friggin' load that trailer when you're by yourself. When I have a truck driver, they would drive the truck over here and I would drop 2 or 3 bales on, and then you just move the truck over and you're not driving so far. It makes a hell of a difference when you have somebody behind the wheel of the truck in the field. Or if your bales are all bunched up in one spot and you're by yourself, then all you have to do is walk from one bunch to the next bunch. But these are not bunched, so I got to put another 4 bales on the top, and then we can start heading for home. Talk to you guys later. I'm curious to see if those guys are still in the ditch. Well, there's a cop here. And I don't know, I think there's a tow truck farther ahead. I'm not sure. He's backing up to him. I'll let you guys go. We'll talk to you later. And here we sit and here we wait. And I actually spoke to the cop. It's an RCMP. After I left, EMS happened to go by and reported these 2 people to the RCs. And apparently a couple of arrests have been made. And I believe it was because they're either intoxicated or well, I guess that's the new terminology, intoxication, whether it be from alcohol or whether it be from drugs. But yeah, fun on a Tuesday evening, right? Talk to you guys later. I'm just gotta sit here and wait for the tow truck to get hooked up to that car. So later. Morning, everyone. Filler up here, beginning of the day. That'd be her. The aerial sprayer guys are out and about doing their desiccation on crops. My guess is nobody really desiccates with glyphos anymore. It's all more or less Reglone. I don't know much about Reglone, but apparently it's a desiccant. Yeah, that's a hell of a... There he is. Right there. That's a hell of a fuel cap, right? On these Dodges, they have an inner spring-loaded flap fucking thing. And then they had another one right here at the very outside, at the top. Well, that one got fucked up. So to help keep the dirt out, there, it works. Also, something else I gotta do is I gotta grab I'm gonna throw my wide load sign on the back end. That'll just make it more legal, so to speak. Oh, and the graders are out this morning. I wish they would grade that goddamn road from the number 10 highway going west. That rough son of a bitch. It's all washboard. We gotta clean him out yet, the little square baler. And I gotta get in there and find out. I'll probably end up ripping the friggin' plunger and shit out of it. CP was having issues with the sprayer. She was telling me she was running around the yard spraying for weeds, and then a couple of bolts came loose on her, and she says she ended up with a flat tire. Yeah, it's most definitely fucking flat, all right. So she's not spraying for weeds, she's spraying for flies. I'm trying to get rid of some of the flies in the yard. It's horrendous, but it's partially that time of the year too. Anywho, I'll find my signs, we'll get them mounted, and we'll get going with our day. Talk to you later. There, that looks a little better. At least there's something on the back end. The big D with the red and white is over dimension. It was pretty dirty and I had to scrub some of the dirt off of it. I'm not going to bother with one for the front. If they can't see me coming, then they shouldn't be on the fucking road. But anyways, It is definitely cooler. I don't think I said anything yesterday, but day before yesterday, it was 33 friggin' degrees. And then overnight, temperature dropped, and yesterday the high was 19. And last night, it got to like 0. I don't know if we had frost or not. Just got to give that sign a minute or two to dry a little more. Otherwise, as soon as I hit the road, she'll be caked in dust and you wouldn't be able to see what it says anyway. CP did cover her cukes, but her pepper plants here, they'll tell us for sure. And we might have had a touch of frost by the looks of them. I'll know better here in another hour, hour and a half as it warms up. If those leaves turn black, then we'll know that, yep, we definitely had frost, right? So, anywho, and on a side note, I had a couple of guys asking, where's the piggy update? Well, here's your piggy update. You little bastards. This guy, you got to kind of watch him. One day I walked in the pen here and he was standing right at the gate and he spun around and nipped at my boot. I was like, you cocksucker. But they're growing. I don't know. How big are they? You guys tell me. Some of you guys have raised a lot more hogs than I ever have, but he's got to be 150 to 175 pounds live weight. This one and that one there. That one's quite a bit smaller. So he'd be the biggest one. This one I think is longer bodied, but maybe a little bit lighter. Hard to say for sure. But they like fucking, if you don't keep that water thing, that tub or barrel right friggin' full, like every second day I have to fill it. If I go 3 days, it won't be empty. They'll still have water. They'll flip the friggin' red tub out and then all the water drains out of the barrel. But if I keep the 25 or whatever that is, 25 gallon barrel that the water's in, if I keep it full every second day, then they don't friggin' flip that out. And they basically, the 3 of them go through this bucket about 1.5 pails every day. 2 pails, and they, oh shit, and they waste it. And I have not ground grain lately for them. We're still on the very first grind, and I don't think it's going to be enough to get through. Anyway, I'll get these guys fed up and then we'll hit the road. Later. Just got to give them a slight push, snug them up, and then put the last 2 on the back end. You can see our big D. Something like that. And then these last two should fit on there just sweet. Back in a bit. All loaded up. Tractor's back there. Got a few bales grouped up with it. And fat man's getting his exercise. If I changed the positioning of the very front rack right up front here, I could have another bale on there. For straw anyways. This loaded barely makes the old Dodge squat. Let's get her home. Alrighty guys, so here's a little story for you. So the property that I'm baling straw on, or picking straw on right now, I've actually been on this land before a few times, a number of times. A few years back we went around and we cut and baled all the sloughs in this particular field. And I also used to work for this dairy farm operation. Brian, the dad, and I are like best of buds. So, and their son, Lucas, so that'd be the middle son, I taught him how to drive, actually. That bale could be interesting getting home. Hopefully I don't have to come with the baler and rebale it, but if I do, if I have to rebale it, I will. But anyways, yeah. So, yeah, I've been kind of a part of the family here for the last number of years. Since, in fact, CP and I, when we got married, I was working for these guys. And that was a long time ago. CP and I just had our wedding anniversary here a few days ago, back on the 28th of August. And that was 32 years. So 32 years ago I was working for Broy Hill Holsteins, and I was on a lot of this property way back then. So yep, there's lots of history here. And it is a family run, family owned, family operated business. It's not a big corporation where you never see the owners type of thing. The owners of this operation actually milk the cows and work the land and so on and so forth. Now with the robots, it's freeing up their time to be able to go out and work the land and do a lot other jobs, because they're not milking the cows by hand. The robots are basically milking the cows, and all this automation has really made a big difference in their lives. And it's quite surprising to see how the cows have adapted to those robots. So yeah, there you go. A little bit of story, a little bit of history. Anyways, this bale and one more and we'll have her cased. Talk to you later. Alrighty, guys. Well, we're on the last load right now. There will be like 4, 5, about 6 net wrap bales that I'll be leaving here for the landowner. Not to mention all of the twine bales that we made for them, which is around somewhere close to 50. So CP is with me. She's in the truck right now, and she's right back there. So I'm literally just gonna put 2 more bales, net wrap bales, on the trailer, and then she'll go home with 6 bales, and that'll be it. And then I'll go back to the main yard. I'll go back to the main yard and get the baler. So anyway, I'll bring you back in a sec. Alrighty, we're back. So there you go, you can see 2 little guys in the front, 2 foobarred bales, and then 2 good ones just to finish it off, so that the bales go right to the rear rack. That way they're not flopping around anywhere. So yeah, and that is a load full of CP edges. Now she can go home. You guys have a good one. We'll catch y'all later.